Trapezium. When only one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is parallel, then the quadrilateral is called a trapezium. It is called an isosceles trapezium if the sides that aren't parallel or equal in length and both angles coming from a parallel side are equal. Median of trapezium. The segment joining the midpoints of non-parallel sides of a trapezium is called the median of the trapezium. The segment joining the midpoints of non-parallel sides of a trapezium is called the median of the trapezium. The median of a trapezium can also be called a mid-segment. Now coming to solved examples given in page 70. Example 1. Measures of angles of quadrilateral ABCD are in the ratio 4:5:7:8. Show that quadrilateral ABCD is a trapezium. You are given the measures of angles of quadrilateral ABCD are in the ratio 4:5:7:8. To prove that quadrilateral ABCD is a trapezium. Solution. Let measures of angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D be 4x degrees, 5x degrees, 7x degrees and 8x degrees respectively. We have taken the common multiple to be x degrees because the measures of angles are given in the ratio format. So let us take the common multiple to be x degrees. Therefore the measures of angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D are 4x degrees, 5x degrees, 7x degrees and 8x degrees respectively. We know that the sum of all angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Sum of the measures of all angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle A plus measure of angle B plus measure of angle C plus measure of angle D is equal to 360 degrees. Therefore, now remove all degrees. You will get 4x plus 5x plus 7x plus 8x is equal to 360. Now add rule of addition of integers. 4x plus 5x plus 7x plus 8x. 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 24. 4x plus 5x plus 7x plus 8x is 24x. 24x is equal to 360. You have to find the value of x. Take 24 to the other side of the equal to sign. You will get x is equal to 360 divided by 24. 360 divided by 24 is otherwise 15. Therefore, x is equal to 15. We got the value of x. Now substitute this in the first line. The measures of angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D will be 4x degrees, that is 4 multiplied by 15, that is equal to 60 degrees. Measure of angle B is 5x degrees, 5 multiplied by 15, that is 75 degrees. Measure of angle C is equal to 7x degrees, that is 7 multiplied by 15, that is equal to 105 degrees. And measure of angle D is equal to 8 multiplied by 15, that is equal to 120 degrees. Now, measure of angle B plus measure of angle C is equal to, look at the figure, measure of angle B plus measure of angle C is equal to 75 degrees plus 105 degrees, that is equal to 180 degrees. We are getting the sum to be 80 degrees. When you select measure of angle B and measure of angle C and add their measures together, you are getting 180 degrees. Therefore, we can say, now looking at the figure, you can find them to be interior angles. Side CL is parallel to side BA because sum of the measures of the interior angles is 180 degrees. Therefore, the lines are parallel. CD is parallel to BA. Take it to be the first equation. But when you take the other two measures, measure of angle B plus measure of angle A, you are finding it not equal to 180 degrees because 75 degrees plus 60 degrees will be 135 degrees only. It is not equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, side BC and side AD are not parallel. Therefore, from equations 1 and 2, quadrilateral ABCD is a trapezium. You know the definition of a trapezium. When only one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is parallel, then the quadrilateral is called a trapezium. So here, quadrilateral ABCD is a trapezium from equations 1 and 2. Now coming to the second example given in page 70. In quadrilateral PQRS, side PS is parallel to side QR and side PQ is congruent to side SR. Side QR is greater than side PS. Then prove that angle PQR is congruent to angle SRQ. The figure is given. Now you write given to prove. Then we have to see whether any construction is needed. If construction is there, you have to write about it. Then continue with the proof. Given in quadrilateral PQRS, side PS is parallel to side QR, side PQ is congruent to side SR, and side QR is greater than side PS. To prove, measure of angle PQR is congruent to measure of angle SRQ. Now, look at the figure. You have to draw a construction. Draw a segment parallel to side PQ. Draw a segment parallel to side PQ through the point S which intersects side QR in point T. Once again I repeat, draw a segment parallel to side PQ through the point S which intersects side QR in T. Now coming to the proof. In quadrilateral PQRS, segment PS is parallel to segment QT is given. Segment PQ is parallel to segment ST is our construction. Therefore, quadrilateral PQTS is a parallelogram by definition. Both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So, quadrilateral PQTS becomes a parallelogram. Now, because it is a parallelogram, there are two parallel, opposite sides are parallel, and if we consider some transversal, we will get corresponding angles. Now see angle PQT and angle STR in the figure. PQ and STR parallel and line QT is the transversal. At the time you are getting the corresponding angles, angle PQT and angle STR which are congruent because the lines are parallel. Because of the corresponding angles theorem, you get these angles to be congruent. Keep it to be first equation. Angle PQT is congruent to angle STR is the first equation. And you are getting segment PQ is congruent to segment ST, opposite sides of the parallelogram. PQ is congruent to segment SR is given. Now combine both. The same segment PQ is congruent to segment ST also and segment SR also. So you will get segment ST is congruent to segment SR. Segment PQ is congruent to segment ST and also it is congruent to segment SR. So you are getting segment ST is congruent to segment SR. Therefore, angle STR is congruent to angle SRT because the isosceles triangle theorem. You have to see triangle STR. In triangle STR, you have segment ST congruent to segment SR. Two sides of the triangle has the same length. That means the triangle is an isosceles triangle. Now you can apply isosceles triangle theorem and say the opposite angles to the congruent sides also will be congruent. Therefore, angle STR is congruent to angle SRT. You have to write the reason as isosceles triangle theorem. Take it to be equation number 2. Now look at equation 1 and equation 2. STR, angle STR is common to both. So how will you read it? Angle PQT is congruent to angle STR and the same angle STR is congruent to angle SRT. So angle PQT is congruent to angle SRT. Within brackets you have to write from equations 1 and 2. Now what is SRT? It is otherwise SRQ because T lies between R and Q. So the same angle SRT can be written as SRQ. So angle PQR is congruent to angle SRQ. Hence, it is proved that base angles of an isosceles trapezium are congruent. We have proved that base angles of an isosceles trapezium are congruent. Now coming to practice it 5.4. Question 1. In quadrilateral IJKL, side IJ is parallel to side KL. Measure of angle I is equal to 108 degrees. Measure of angle K is equal to 53 degrees. Then find the measures of angle J and angle L. You are given in quadrilateral IJKL, side IJ is parallel to side KL. Measure of angle I is equal to 108 degrees. Measure of angle K is equal to 53 degrees. To find measure of angle J and measure of angle L, you have to draw the figure. Now, you have to write the solution. How to begin the solution? In quadrilateral IJKL, side IJ is parallel to side KL is given, within brackets you have to write given, and let lines IL and line JK be the transversals. Look at the figure. If you take line IL to be the first transversal between the parallel lines, then you can apply the interior angles theorem and say that measure of angle I plus measure of angle L is equal to 180 degrees. Sum of the measures of the interior angles will be equal to 180 degrees. Now substitute the value of I. Measure of angle I is 108 degrees. So you can write that implies that implies 108 degrees plus measure of angle L is equal to 180 degrees. You can also write therefore instead of implies. Therefore, measure of angle L will be equal to 180 degrees minus 108 degrees. When it comes to the other side of the equal to sign, the sign changes. So, plus 108 degrees becomes minus 108 degrees. So, 180 degrees minus 108 degrees will give you 72 degrees. Similarly, if we take the other transversal JK to be the next line, JK to be the transversal between the parallel lines, then again you can apply the interior angles theorem and say measure of angle K plus measure of angle J is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, now instead of measure of angle K, you can write 53 degrees. 53 degrees plus measure of angle J is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle J will be equal to 180 degrees minus 53 degrees, which is otherwise equal to 127 degrees. Now we have to take down and write the final answer. Measure of angle L is equal to 72 degrees and measure of angle J is equal to 127 degrees. Now coming to the second question in practice set 5.4, second question. In quadrilateral ABCD, side BC is parallel to side AD, side AB is congruent to side DC. If measure of angle A is equal to 72 degrees, then find the measures of angle B and angle D. You have to write what is given and what is to find. First pick up and write what is given. Given in quadrilateral ABCD, side BC is parallel to side AD, side AB is congruent to side DC, measure of angle A is equal to 72 degrees. To find measure of angle B and measure of angle D. Now here the figure is given in the curve. Figure is not given, so you have to draw the figure. Now after drawing the figure, you can write the solution. In quadrilateral ABCD, side BC is parallel to side AD and line AB is their transversal. Therefore, measure of angle A plus measure of angle B is equal to 180 degrees because angle A and angle B are interior angles. Because of the interior angles theorem, we get measure of angle A plus measure of angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Now substitute the value of measure of angle A. Measure of angle A is equal to 72 degrees. So 72 degrees plus measure of angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Now find out measure of angle B. Measure of angle B is equal to 180 degrees minus 72 degrees because when you bring plus 72 to the opposite side, other side of the equal to sign, the sign changes. Plus changes into minus. So 180 degrees minus 72 degrees, which otherwise becomes 108 degrees. So that implies measure of angle B is equal to 108 degrees. Now BC is parallel to AD and AB is equal to DC is given. Therefore, ABCD is an isosceles trapezium. You know the definition of an isosceles trapezium. If non-parallel sides of a trapezium are congruent, here the non-parallel sides are AB and DC. They are congruent. Then that quadrilateral is called an isosceles trapezium. So quadrilateral ABCD is an isosceles trapezium. Base angles of an isosceles trapezium are congruent. So their measures are equal. So measure of angle D will be equal to measure of angle A. These are the base angles of the isosceles trapezium. One of the base angles. Other base angle will be angle C and angle B. Now we can select this because we want to find out the measure of angle D now. So measure of angle D is equal to measure of angle A. Base angles of an isosceles trapezium are congruent. Therefore, measure of angle D will be equal to 72 degrees because within brackets you have to write since measure of angle A is equal to 72 degrees is given and close the bracket. Now, pick out the final answer and write. Answer, measure of angle B is equal to 108 degrees and measure of angle D is equal to 72 degrees. Now coming to the third one. In quadrilateral quadrilateral ABCD, side BC is less than side AD. This is figure 5.32. Side BC is parallel to side AD, and if side BA is congruent to side CD, then prove that measure of angle ABC is congruent to measure of angle DCB. So you are given in quadrilateral ABCD, side BC is less than side AD, side BC is parallel to side AD, side BA is congruent to side CD. To prove angle ABC is congruent to angle DCB. Now here there are two methods. Firstly, you can write the proof like this. In quadrilateral ABCD, side BC is parallel to side AD is given, side AB is congruent to side DC is given. Therefore, according to the definition of isosceles trapezium, the non-parallel sides are congruent. You are given side BC is less than side AD, so automatically these two sides become BA and CD becomes the non-parallel sides. BA and CD becomes the non-parallel sides. You are given side AB is congruent to side DC. And side BC is parallel to side AD. If non-parallel sides of the trapezium are congruent, here you can see the non-parallel sides of the trapezium to be congruent, then that quadrilateral is called an isosceles trapezium. Now see the base angles. Base angles of an isosceles trapezium are congruent. Angle A and angle T are one of the base angles. Now we have to see angle B and angle C. They are the other base angles. So now finally we have to prove angle B is congruent to angle C, because we have to prove angle ABC is congruent to angle DCB. So now we concentrate on angle B and angle C. Angle ABC, that is otherwise angle ABC and angle DCB. These are one of the pairs of base angles. So now base angles of an isosceles trapezium are congruent. We all know. So angle ABC is congruent to angle DCB. This is one method. The other method will be little lengthy. I'll explain to the second method also. You can prefer which method to select. Now, according to the second method, in quadrilateral ABCD, BC is parallel to AD is given and BA is equal to CD is given. Therefore, quadrilateral ABCD is an isosceles trapezium. Therefore, base angles of an isosceles trapezium are congruent. Therefore, angle BAD, you consider the other base angle now first. Angle BAD is equal to angle CDA. Keep it to be the first equation. Now, BC is parallel to AD and lines BA and CD are their transversals. Therefore, measure of angle BAD plus measure of angle ABC is equal to 180 degrees. Take it to be the second equation. Within brackets you write interior angles. And measure of angle CDA plus measure of angle DCB is equal to 180 degrees. Take it to be the third equation. So your first equation is where you have written base angles of an isosceles trapezium are congruent. That is measure of angle BAD is equal to measure of angle CDA. That you take as first equation. Now take these two as second and third equations. Then from equations 2 and 3, you can see that the right hand sides are equal. 180 and 180 they are equal. So the left hand sides are also equal. So you can write measure of angle BAD plus measure of angle ABC is equal to measure of angle CDA plus measure of angle DCB. Now from 1, and measure of angle BAD is equal to measure of angle CDA. So instead of measure of angle CDA, you can replace by measure of angle BAD. So you will get measure of angle BAD plus measure of angle ABC is equal to measure of angle BAD plus measure of angle DCB. Within brackets you write from equation 1. Now you can see on either side of the equations you have BAD and BAD. If you take one BAD to the other side of the equal to sign, it will become measure of angle BAD minus measure of angle BAD. They will get cancelled, so you'll get 0. So you'll get only measure of angle ABC is equal to measure of angle DCB. When the measures are equal, the angles are congruent, so we can write measure of angle ABC is congruent to measure of angle DCB. Hence we prove that angle ABC is congruent to angle DCB. This is the second method.